Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday today. Hope everybody had a good week last week. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this. I'm reading in Matthew this week and chapter 9, and I'm reading about faith. And what I'm seeing in it is faith. Faith. I just keep seeing faith, and are we having faith? And a lot of times as Christians, I think it's easy for us to sit on the sidelines and tell people who are struggling with things, have faith. Have faith that God's going to do what He says He's going to do. Have faith that Jesus is going to take care of you. Your provisions will be taken care of. Everything you need will be taken care of. It's easy for us as practicing Christians, I think, as in a whole, to say that. It's a blanket deal that we can just put over everything. Well, have faith. God's going to take care of you. Oh, well, my wife's trying to leave me. Well, have faith. God's going to take care of you. I lost my job. Have faith. Jesus will take care of you. And that is a true statement. And there's probably not a truer statement. If we're doing what we're supposed to be doing and living the life that we're supposed to live and putting Jesus first in everything that we do, then that is a true statement. But it's easy to say that, but are we doing it as Christians? Are we having the faith that we're supposed to have? At the end of chapter 9, right before chapter 10, we see 3 examples, just boom, 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 about faith. And to me, what I see in it, there was a synagogue leader whose daughter had just died. She wasn't sick, she had already died. And he comes and he tells Jesus, if you would just put your hand on her, she would be healed. And he had faith. He didn't say, well, see what you can do. Come down here and pray for her. Pray for my family. We need comfort. He knew that Jesus could do it. And he trusted Jesus could do it. And he had the faith, the total faith that he could do it. And there was a woman. We see the next example, a woman who had been sick for years and years and years, and she reaches out and she says, I just need Jesus. And she reaches out and she touches his robe, and Jesus heals her. Jesus fixes it. He changes her situation. And it's not always going to be easy. Christian life isn't always going to be easy. And I think as anybody who understands that life sometimes sucks, we understand that being a Christian isn't going to be any different. When we read about the main people, the big names that we read about in the Bible that people know about, they were martyred. They saw massive amounts of suffering for themselves and for people around them, but they had faith that Jesus was going to take care of them. And the verse that I would like to hit on here is in chapter 9, verse 27. It says, after Jesus left the girl's home, the little girl we was just talking about, 2 blind men followed along behind him, shouting, Son of David, have mercy on us. They went right into his house where he was staying, and Jesus asked them, do you believe I can make you see? Yes, Lord, they told him, we do. Then he touched their eyes and said, because of your faith, it will happen. Then their eyes were opened and they could see Jesus. Jesus sternly warned them, don't tell anyone about this, but instead they went out and spread his fame all over the region. And I know Jesus told them not to tell nobody, but we gotta have that fire in us. I want us all to have that. Whenever Jesus does something for our lives, we can't shut up about it. We have to tell the whole region about it. And I know this circumstances, Jesus told them, don't tell no one. But instead, they went out and spread his fame all over the region. Now, it's never a good idea to go against what Jesus tells us to do, ever. But we need to have that. What I'm getting at is we need to have that. We want to be able to just not shut up about what Jesus has done in our life. And one way to do that is have faith that Jesus is going to do that. Are we practicing faith, or are we just saying faith? Are we saying the things that we hear on Sunday, or are we practicing the things that Jesus tells us Monday through Saturday in our studies? These guys followed along behind Jesus, and they followed Jesus just like we're following. And now this doesn't give us a timeline. It doesn't say it took them 3 years to follow Jesus to this house, wherever it was. It doesn't say 3 hours. But the point is, they followed Jesus, and they were shouting to him, have mercy on us, save us. And that's what we're doing a lot of times when we're going through things. We're shouting out to God, save us, Jesus, save our souls, save the things, save our marriage, save our lives. We're hurting and we don't understand what to do. And these guys were doing that, and they thought that it was falling on deaf ears, but it's not, because a lot of times people who shout for help, we don't just because we want help doesn't mean that we really believe that God's going to do it. And that's where the difference between faith is and just thinking that God's going to, you know what I mean, just there's a good chance God's going to take care of me, or do we know God's going to take care of us? And that's the deal. These guys knew. And Jesus wanted to test them. Jesus let them, you know, that he let these guys have faith by not just turning around and healing them instantly. These guys exercised their faith, and they showed their faith that no matter how long it took and no matter how far they had to walk, they were going to follow Jesus, and Jesus was going to come through in the end. And he did. And he tells them, because of your faith, it will happen. And man, it's you know, we got to have that. We got to have that faith. You know, we're just like these guys. Keep following behind Jesus is what we're doing. And I'd like to encourage everybody, just keep following out there. Just don't give up. Keep following Jesus and have faith that He's gonna save us. He's gonna save not just us financially. I'm not meaning that, but He's gonna restore our relationship with Him. And I'm telling you, once you get a hold of that, you'll be like these guys. You can't shut up about what God's done in our lives. And I hope everybody can do that. Remember, because of your faith, it will happen. That's a direct quote from Jesus. I hope everybody has a good week. Keep praying for each other. Keep the faith. And talk to y'all next week.